Hey, this is Zach S, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to build a couple baby statues in Minecraft. The first one I'm going to be teaching you how to build is a baby Steve. I apologize for this downpour. It's gonna be a bit of a problem for this video, but hopefully you can or you could just see what you're building or what I'm building here and be able to copy it on your world. This is a really simple build that I've remembered how to do for years, and it just kind of becomes part of your brain with this. You remember every measurement and everything like that. But let's get into building Steve. Alright, the first thing you're going to need is gray wool, and we're going to do 1 block of gray wool, and then 3 blocks away from that, we're going to do another block of gray wool. Alright, so once you got that, you can see that's his shoes, and it's going to all start coming together. Alright, so the next thing you need is blue wool, and that's going to be for his pants. You're going to do 3 blocks off of these shoes here, just like so. And so you see that it's his legs, and then we're going to be working on his waist down, which is just going to be a 2x3 block thing, just like that, connecting the legs like so. And then you're going to build on top of that, but it's a little bit different where you're going to leave that blank. You're going to leave that spot right there blank. Okay, so you see what we got here. You can see why we left that blank, because we're going to go in with cyan wool, and we're going to fill that in. Alright. Which, just remember, you could always pause it or rewind during this video while you're building this if I'm going too fast. Alright, so now we're going to take our cyan wool again and build on top of our waist here 3 times. Okay, just 3 layers, just like that. Alright. Cool. Okay, so now we're going to do the sleeves, and the arms and legs are pretty much the same, but we're going to build out like this with the cyan wool right above the legs here. Alright, and then we're going to do another block like that on both sides to make his sleeves. Alright, now we're going to take our birch planks, and we're going to build 2 blocks off of our sleeves, just like that. And, okay, so now that we have our arms and torso and legs, we can now work on to the head, which is a bit tricky with the hair and stuff, but, it's gonna just be part of your brain after this video, where you're just going to always remember it. Alright, so now we're going to start with our first layer of the head. You're going to start right here, like that. Kind of right where the skin, where the skin is showing on his arms. You're going to build right where that kind of stops, right here. And you're going to take it 3 blocks back. Alright, and you get something like that. Now you're going to take your brown wool, and you're going to connect these on both sides with the brown wool. Alright, so you get something like this, kind of this symmetrical thing. And now we're going to be working on the second layer. Alright, so you take your birch planks, and you just go straight across on what's going to be his face right here. and then you bring it back 2 blocks on both sides. Right there, just like that. And now you're going to take your brown wool and you're going to fill in the rest, just like that. So you kind of could see the comparison of what we got so far, and you can kind of see what's next, how we're going to be working on the eyes now. You're going to take your blue wool, your light blue wool, that is. You're going to do 2 blocks just like that above the mouth right there. And you're going to take your white wool and you're going to put them right there, just like that. All right, and then we're going to fill in this gap with birch planks. Okay, now we're going to bring, on the white of his eyes, we're going to bring that back 1 with birch planks. And there we go. Now we're going to fill in the rest with brown wool. Just like that. Alright, so now we're going to do the next layer, all birch planks. Alright. And then we're going to not bring this back at all, and we're going to fill in the rest with brown wool. Alright, and now for our next layer, we're going to do the whole thing brown wool. Oops. Alright. Alright, and then you're going to fill in the top with brown wool. Oh, brown wool. Okay, sorry. There we go. Alright, so now we have 2 identical Steves right here, which if you wanted to do a Herobrine one, you just take out his irises there and just fill it in with white wool. And there, changing 2 blocks, you get a Herobrine instead of a Steve. Alright, so that was our first baby statue. Now we're going to head on to our next one. Alright, so next we're going to build a zombie statue, which you could kind of see is a lot like the Steve or the Herobrine with the clothes, which the only thing that's really different is the head and the arms. But you'll see it's way easier than this because the hair was a bit challenging when you're freestyling it, but and this guy, he's bald, so it makes it a lot easier. And he's way more simple and less detailed. So this one will for sure stick into your mind. Alright, so let's get into it. The first few steps are exactly the same as the Herobrine or the Steve. So you can kind of see we're going to do the shoes with gray wool 3 blocks apart and then bring the legs back 3 blocks. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing up to the arms. So I'm just going to let you rewind that if you need to go see the steps for the Steve, because I'm actually going to skip to where I'm at that. So I'll give you some time to rewind and get there. Alright, so now that we have our torso and legs, we're going to start working on where it divides the Steve / Herobrine between the zombie. So, the sleeves, they're the same, 2 blocks, just like this, of cyan wool. And then you're going to take green wool, and you're going to come out 2 blocks, just like how we did with the birch planks here. And now we're going to work on the head. Alright, so now you're going to start right here on the sleeve again and bring it back 3 blocks from the sleeve, just like that. So you should have a 4-block thing just barely hanging off of the torso there. Alright, and then instead of what we did before, using the brown on both sides, connecting it, we're going to use green on the back, and we're going to be using black on the front. All right, so you can kind of see why we did that there. Yeah, so now let's get on to the next layer. We're going to use green wool, and for the whole layer, we're going to use green wool. The whole layer, all the way around, just like so. All right, so now we're going to take the black wool and do 2 blocks just like this, how we did with the light blue wool and the white wool for his eyes. This is just black wool instead. And instead of filling in the gap with birch planks, we're filling it in with green wool. All right, so now we're going to do the whole rest of this layer with green wool. All right, so now we're going to do the next layer, all with green wool. Ooh. And to cap it off, we're going to do the next layer, all with green wool. Just like this. So now we have 2 identical twin baby zombie statues and 2 baby statues of Steve and Herobrine. Now I'm going to be teaching you how to make a creeper, which is a bit tricky and is a little bit different than these measurements and setups, but still is very easy to remember. Let's get into it. Alright, so the creeper, yes, it doesn't really look like a normal creeper, kind of like at all, but it just kind of looks like a baby version, like it will change throughout stages and become the creeper that we know and don't really love now. But so this is, as you can see, it's pretty different from these other ones, but still is very simple and only takes 2 different types of blocks. This is probably the this is like the smallest amount of different types of blocks that any of these baby statues is going to take. But let's get into how to build this baby creeper statue. Let's get into it. Alright, so now we're going to get started into building the creeper baby statue. First, you're going to need some lime green wool, and you're going to do a 2x2 square, just like that. And you're going to go 1 block away from it, and do another 2x2 square, and then go 1 block away from that, like this. Right here. And then you're going to complete it and make it look like a square, just like that. Alright, so now you're going to take your lime green wool again, and you're going to place the blocks on top of that. Just do a layer, copying the last one exactly. Alright, so you should have 4 2x2x2 squares. And we're going to connect them all by making a 3x3 square on top of them, just like so. And then you're going to do another 3x3 square on top of that. Oh. And then you're going to do another layer of the exact same thing. Oh. Alright, so you should now have something that looks like this. The torso is 3x3x3 of lime green wool. And now we're going to be working on the head. So the head is a little bit bigger than these other heads, but it's pretty much the same. We're going to come off like this. just like that. We're going to bring it back 3. And we're going to turn it like this and do that 3. Or I'm sorry, 4. We're going to bring this back to the front 3 blocks. Okay, actually 4 blocks. I'm gonna do that just like that. All right, and then you're gonna take your black wool and connect them to make the mouth right there. All right, so now you're going to take your lime green wool and do a layer on top of that completely with lime green wool. All right, so now you're going to take your black wool and you're going to do something like this with 2 blocks, just like that. 3 blocks apart from each other, not right above the mouth, but outside above the mouth. And then you're going to fill in that gap with lime green wool, and you're going to finish off the layer with lime green wool. All right, and then you're going to do the next 2 layers just completely with lime green wool. I'm going to let you do that. I'm going to let you pause it and do that while I do it off camera. All right, so you should end up with something like this. And you're going to fill in the top right here. It should be a 3x3 square of nothing. And you're going to fill in that with lime green wool. And now you have your creeper. So that is, well, I guess 4 different kinds of baby statues. We have the Herobrine, the Steve, the zombies, and the baby creepers. Watch out for part 2. I'm going to be coming out with another video that has how to do more, such as the Enderman, the skeleton, a bunch of other ones. So be looking on the lookout for that. Subscribe, leave a like to this video, and I hope you'll be able to remember how to build these. I have for a couple of years now. Oh, something happened with that guy. I don't know. I'll have to fix that later. But yeah, so watch out for my next video, and hope to see you next time. Bye.